because I want to introduce listening to our quiz this time, and I think it's about time we got you ready for IELTS. So the first listening format that I will include in our quiz will be the writing, the completion format. So in IELTS, there are generally three of completion questions. We will normally have form, note, or table completion. These are the three common forms in listening IELTS. So the key to the three format of questions will be mostly your spelling and your numberings. All right. So the first thing that we will be testing on is how much you know about spelling. Since it is very common for you to be asked to spell out words or the street's name, the person's name, or the company's name. So in this quick practice, we will be playing the audio about spelling. So you will see like this, there will be gaps and you will need to complete each gaps with some words. And if the words are hard, they will most of the time spell out the words for you. So your key is to know how each alphabet is called, like A, B, C, D, or B, like D, B, like that. It's confusing letters. And sometimes if it is double E, they might say E or double E. That's another clue. So look at the six questions and I will play the audio to test out your spelling. Hit skip 4.
Oh, wait.
It's just spelling, so it's really, really, really quick.
Test 1 training.
Okay, ready?
Wait, teacher, wait. I need to get my pen. Okay.
Okay, let's go.
Spelling 3. 1.
My address is 23 Borough Road. That's BOROUGH.
2.
Send your application to JWIC Limited. That's JAYWICK.
3. My name is Anna Fravelli. I'll spell that for you. FRAVELLI. 4. We'll meet outside Quarryside School. That's QUARRYSIDE. 5.
You need to get a bus to my village. It's Charlesworth. That's CHARLESWORTH.
6. Have a look at my website. It's www.kimmarshall.com. That's KIMMARSHALL.
Okay. So that's the first spelling. How is it? It's very slow. It's very convenient, right? Nghi, sure. Number 1.
The first one because my pen it's set in big font, so it's full my screen.
Sad. All right, well, number 1. What's the answer that may spell it out?
Bourouga.
Very good. So borrow, Borrough. Number two, Yana, then.
JAYWICK.
Okay. Number three, May.
FRRAVELLI.
So F double R.
Yes.
Okay. Replay number three.
Test 1 training.
ROOUGH. Relation to JWIC Limited, K.
3. My name is Anna Fravelli. I'll spell that for you. FRAVELLI.
Okay, so 1 or 2 or? How many
Just
or?
one.
Or man down.
One.
Only 1 or. Careful. Number 4, Yana.
QUARRYSIDE.
Okay, main 5.
CARLESWORCH.
CH or TH?
C.
Okay, CH. Long tiệt.
Yeah.
Cùng lên khởi game này.
5.
Here.
You need to get a bus to my village. It's Charlesworth. That's CHARLESWORTH.
TH.
Yep.
Last one, Yana.
KIMMARSHALL.
Okay, so be careful with spelling. Mostly if it is a name, please start with a capital letter, okay, like here. But number 6, it is a website's name, so there is no capital letter. Careful about that, okay? Let's continue. Oh my God, it's frozen. I can't stop sharing this. What's going on? Okay, let's go back. Okay, so that's the spelling. One more is, so we have 2 cases, spelling and numbers. So this time we will look at numbering. So be careful, especially 12, 20, 14, 40. Frozen. All right. So in this section, we'll be listening to numbers only. Number 5, don't look at number 6, numbers. Let's go.
Test 1 training. Numbers. 1.
I live at 391 King Street.
391.
2.
A family ticket is cheaper. It's only $48.
3.
You can ring me on my mobile. The number is 07862 335 201.
4.
The theatre, which is very old, has been open since 1899.
5.
Take the application to the secretary, who is in room 117.
6.
Your flight will be £454.50, including taxes.
All right. Number 1, Yana.
391.
Okay, main 2.
48.
Yana 3.
0786 2335 021.
02 or 201? Okay, again, number 3.
3.
You can ring me on my mobile. The number is 07862 335 201.
20.
Exactly, 201. Be careful. Number 4, main.
1890.
Thank you.
9.
It's 99.
Right.
5.
117.
Very good. May last one on.
454.50.
Nice one hit. So you will know if it's number 0, sometimes they pronounce it as O. I don't know what's going on. I just can't seem to like. But anh hit ban mà the white was just stuck right there. All right, one more key problem will be your date. So again, for numbers, sometimes they call O as 0, sometimes they say 0, no number. For the date, there are many ways that you can write. Here, look down here. Dùng có khen khổng này, everyone. Yeah. You can write 3rd March, so 3 and OD on top and March, or March number 3 or number 3 March. Any form is fine. Okay. So here we will be listening only for dates for this one.
Test 1 training. Dates. 1.
The first day of the course is the 21st of September.
2.
I was born on the 1st of February, 1986.
3.
I have an appointment with Dr. Andrews on the 31st of March.
4.
We're getting married in December, on the 14th.
5.
I will fly into New York on the 11th of January.
6.
You need to come for an interview on the 7th of August.
Okay. So can you write short form of months in this one, or you need to write full form?
Short.
Or
Short to say you have to write full form.
oh, but I thought you asked us.
No, right now it's fine, but in the exam you have to write full form, okay?
No.
Okay.
Yes.
And you also cannot write number for months. For months, you have to write full letter, like January, February, not 01, 02. May start first. Number 1, what's the date on?
21st September.
You can write like that, or you can write like this, September. Or you can just write September 21. All are accepted, no worry. Number 2, Yanet.
On the 1st of February, 1986.
May 3.
31st March.
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 Janelle 4.
And 14 December.
May. Next one.
11 January.
Be careful with your month spelling. Okay. Last one, May. Janelle.
Oh, I forgot to write the month.
Oh.
7th of
August.
Yeah. August. Peter, I can't. Oh my God. My Zoom is just like slow. Okay, so that's date. This time we won't listen since it's just numbering as well, but be careful if it is measurements, number plus measurements. You can choose to write full word like meters, or you can just write M for meters, like km for kilometers, or full word as kilometers. But if you choose to write full spelling, make sure you write the correct spelling, okay? Tại vì có của smartphone này, thì có spelling. Yep. So to be safe, write a shortcut like M or KM. Nâng dính nâng thờ, ở các bạn có spelling này.
Right.
Very good. Let's continue. All right. Let's look at the real deal. What's the real deal? So on this one, we will have a whole tip for everything together. So we call this as completion questions, and every form of completion questions is the same tip. So first thing first, you have to understand instructions, because in IELTS, like unlike what we did yesterday in cause effect, you can write as many words as you can as long as they are correct, right? But in IELTS, they are word limits. You need to write only what they ask you to write. For example, right here, sometimes they say write 2 words and or a number. That means you can write 1 word. So that means you can write 1 word plus 1 number, 2 words or 2 words plus 1 number. 1 number here does not mean a digit, it means the actual number, like 1000. That's called 1 number. Đánh tùng cứ mà lệch bằng món á. Mình tham một quán bưng tùng là gì? A number means a whole complete number, like 1531, for example. It's called 1 number. Soon hai như sẽ bay biện thở án. Can we write 3 words? I'm frozen.
Can you say it again?
I'm frozen, I know it. So if they say write 2 words and or a number, can we write 3 words? Như sẽ bay biện ban án.
No.
No, hoặc bà gì chắc mà biện sẽ ban án.
Yes.
Yes. So if the instruction, what your name?
No.
Okay. Like May said, very good job on. If the instruction says write 2 words and or a number, you can write from 1 word, the least, to 2 words, the most. Ở sẽ bày biện á, chờ nó bày biện. Hai ai đã lên cậu bán, cậu bàn. Like that. Okay, nó instruction. Instruction bỏ kế. Mùi tiết, always check your spellings and your grammar. Only write what you hear. Dương bị ấy ta sẽ bị năng chỗ. Do not make any changes. Admin do how speech bỏ kế, admin type as I kế, admin đọc as bỏ kế chạy nhỉ. So write what you hear. And if you have to make changes to the word, that means that word is not the answer. Nên tập copy ảnh. Generally, they will call out what you have to use to fill in the forms or the notes. If you think you have to make changes to power speech, to grammar or to spelling, you got the wrong words. ខុសហើយអត់ទេណា One more in listening they mostly use synonyms and paraphrasing កន្លែង question section answer គឺគេហៅយើងត្រូវហ្មងប៉ុន្តែកន្លែង section list question list គឺគេប្រើ synonym ច្រើនជាងគេអត់ហៅទាំងដល់មកយើងអញ្ចឹងទេ in listening so watch out for synonyms and paraphrasing High answers to always in order of the questions គេអត់លើក្រោមទេគឺគេដាក់តាម order មក1ដល់10អញ្ចឹងអត់អីទេមួយទៀតពេលខ្លះ you can also predict the answers that means you can look at the gaps and decide what part of speech to put in គឺអញ្ចឹងក៏បានដែរអញ្ចឹងណាមក that's the whole tip for everything so first thing first we'll look at form completion I need to go search for form completion ដឹងនៅទីណាទេ The one I gave you I think they were all note and table completion on the form waiter and so let me go note completion so note completion generally note completion is a short note of something or someone on a subject and they again same thing they take out some words out of the note and it looks like this see so in the instruction they will say complete the notes below this is how you know it is a note completion and then look at the instruction write no more than 2 words and or a number Yana, how many words can you write in this question? Say please.
2 words or 1
words មកពាក្យបានអត់
Yes
បូកលេខចូលបានអត់
Yes.
អត់លេខបានអត់ Without number is that okay?
Yes
Yes, very good. Look at the question. How many questions are there? 10 questions. You must pick it out here. Number 1. What should it be? Begins on. This holiday begins on. Spelling, date or number?
On date.
Date, okay. No more than
2 words
no
Number.
Number 2, okay.
yeah, number
Number 3.
which day which
Ever.
Number
Words. Yeah.
words, okay. Number 4.
Number.
If you number have a
word
noun, adjective with verb plus noun. Number 5. We thuộc theo nó bị một.
number
Look at the questions. I will go and play the recording. Number 8. មើលសំណួរមិនណាហើយយើងនឹងចាក់ហើយយើងសាកធ្វើទាំងអស់គ្នា
Test 1, exam practice. Listening, section 1. You will hear a telephone conversation between a woman and a man who works for a holiday company about a holiday she would like to go on. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 6.
Pause the recording for 30 seconds.
One more thing in IELTS, they will tell you what to do in the recording. ថាយើងស្ដាប់ដល់បានចម្លើយបានសំណួរអញ្ចឹងយើងអត់បាច់ភ័យថាយើងត្រូវមើលដល់ក្រោមទេ Alignment, they said first you have some time to look at questions 1 Alignment
30 seconds
1 to what
5.
1 2
6.
I know
yes
8.
hang on ដងទៀត
Listening, section 1. You will hear a telephone conversation between a woman and a man who works for a holiday company about a holiday she would like to go on. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 6.
1 to
6.
6. Do you have to look at question 7 to 10 là nâng? Mơ 2 án
Not
còn
yet.
mà gì? Not yet. Mơ tới 1 to 6. Let's go.
Pause the recording for 30 seconds.
You will see that there is an example that has been done for you. On this occasion only, the conversation relating to this will be played first.
Holidays for you. Sean speaking. Can I help you?
Oh, hi. I've been looking at your website. I'm interested in a cycling holiday in Austria in April.
We have 2 trips in April. One lasts 14 days and the other 10 days.
I think the 10-day trip is better. So let's see. I've got a calendar here. What are the dates?
The length of the trip that the woman chooses is 10 days, so 10 has been written in the space. Now we shall begin. You should answer the questions as you listen, because you will not hear the recording a second time. Listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 6.
Holidays for you. Sean speaking. Can I help you?
Oh, hi. I've been looking at your website. I'm interested in a cycling holiday in Austria in April.
We have 2 trips in April. One lasts 14 days and the other 10 days.
I think the 10-day trip is better. So let's see. I've got a calendar here. What are the dates?
Well, that trip is in the middle of the month. It starts on the 17th of April and it finishes on the 27th.
That suits me. I can't leave work before the 10th of April.
Let me see if there are any spaces. Is it just for yourself?
Myself and my sister, so 2 of us.
Yes, we have spaces.
Is it a big group?
At the moment, there are 12 people booked on this trip, and with you 2, that will be 14. The maximum number is 16, so it's almost fully booked. We can't go over that because it's hard to keep a larger group together.
I need to check that I'm fit enough for this, but the distances look okay. The website says we'll ride approximately 45 kilometers a day. Is that right?
That's correct. And I've got the exact distances here. It really depends on which part of the trip. Some days are only 35 kilometers and some are more. But you'll never have to cycle more than 50 kilometers in one day.
Oh, okay. I can manage that. And we stay in hotels?
Yes, they all have restaurants and the rooms have ensuite facilities.
And do they have pools? It's how I relax after a long day.
There is a swimming pool in a few of the hotels, but none of them has a gym.
I don't think we'll need a gym after all that cycling. I'd better find out how much the holiday costs before I get too excited.
Including flights, it's £1,177 for one person.
Oh, we'll book our own flights on the internet.
That's just £1,013 then. And we can book insurance for you if you want.
And which meals are included in that price?
Well, breakfast, of course, and the hotels will provide you with a packed lunch each day. We do stop during the afternoon in a village somewhere for a rest, so any snacks you buy then are extra. Then dinner will be in the hotel every evening, and that's included in the price of the holiday.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 7 to 10.
How is it? Nyopi á?
Like they're not using the direct words.
They use synonym all the time. They don't say begins, but they said starts. They don't say no more than, they say maximum. They don't say on average, they said approximately.
Yes, so I wish
I told you like synonym, be careful. They don't say without flight. They said something about including flights, like that. Okay, đâu sao?
I didn't catch number.
They don't say include except they say extra. The last 4 ones. Look at question 7 to 10. You can do more practice the one I sent you, so no worry. It's your first time, that's why you're not used to it. Let's go.
Pause the recording for 30 seconds.
Now listen and answer questions 7 to 10.
And you provide the bicycles, of course. What else?
A lock and a bell come with the bike, as well as lights, although you shouldn't need to cycle in the dark. There's a small bag, or pannier, on the front of the bike, where you can put the things you want to take with you during the day, like water or fruit. But we won't allow you to cycle unless you bring a helmet. We don't provide these locally because, like walking boots on a walking holiday, it's really important it fits properly.
Okay.
If there's any special gear you need for your holiday, we recommend a particular website, and you can get a discount by quoting your booking reference.
Great. What is it?
It's www.ballantine.com. That's all one word, and I'll spell it for you. www.ballantine.com.
Good. I've got that down. I've been looking at your website while we've been talking. I see we cycle along the River Danube.
Yes, it's one of Europe's most well-known areas for cycling.
It looks fascinating. Lots of beautiful countryside and things to see.
I should warn you that we do reserve the right to make some alterations to the route if the weather is bad. Some of the tracks sometimes get very muddy.
Okay. Well, hopefully it won't rain too much. I know we stop in towns and villages, but do we get a chance to look around? Because I'm really interested in history.
Oh yes, you get opportunities to explore. Is there something in particular you want to see?
There's a theatre in a town called Grine. A friend of mine went there last year and said it was amazing.
Let's see. Yes, there's a guide who'll take you round the building. We don't have any other tours arranged, but you can visit several castles and museums on the holiday.
Well, thank you for all that information. I'd like to book that then.
Right, well, I'll just...
That is the end of section 1. You now have half a minute.
All right, one more thing in IELTS, they also give you some time to check your answers and to transfer your answer, but let's just skip that. So, how was it overall?
Not
I
easy.
think it's hard because you are not used to the format yet. That by time, like sooner or later you will get used to it because you know chụp trên ngày mà. Number 1, they did not say begin again. They said start. Number 7, they said it is very important, not essential. Tiếng Việt reading listening với dương mà nhé. Number 9, they didn't say change. They said alteration or alter. Synonym again. The last one, they talk about there is a guy who will take you around, not guided tour. Paraphrase. Okay, paraphrase channel line. Let's see how many answers you get it right. So in IELTS, there will be only one time for listening, but in our quiz, since it's our first time, we can do twice. Number 1, what's the answer? Let's start from May.
17 April.
April.
Oh, April.
Thank you, April. Very good.
Oh, I haven't.
Number 2, name.
April.
16
16. Very good. Maximum.
I get it right.
Này cái sao maximum, not no more than mà. And this one, this starts. Not
I
begin.
didn't get it.
Number 3, Mahayana.
I didn't catch that.
May.
My answer is 2 is 45 and 50, but I heard 50 at the end, so I choose 50.
45. They said no more than
45 kilometers.
50 kilometers. She said something like she said approximately.
All right.
No more than. Like that.
See.
Mà mấy
Yeah,
cái number 4 vậy nè ta.
Number 4. I also didn't catch that.
Okay, mấy.
Swimming pool.
Yes, swimming pool. You can write swimming pool or pool, both are okay. You might have heard the word gym, but there's no gym.
I didn't heard that.
Đây là ở bên ngoài trở làm. Vậy nè, 5.
10, 13.
10, 13. Mấy including flight, like they said 11, 77. Good, you did not get tricked. Very good on. Sometimes people get tricked.
No, the tips is the answer usually at the end, right?
If you hear two numbers mostly, no, it cannot be mostly. Sometimes it's the first answer, sometimes it's the end. Like for number 3 case, look at that. See, you heard 45 first. 6 main.
Snack.
Hmm?
Snack. Snack.
Next.
Snacks. With S. Right.
Extra.
So if you forgot the letter S, you will got 0.
Oh, have S?
Yeah, like snacks, those are extra. See? Now here 7.
Helmet.
Helmet. Main number 8. Just spell I how
VALLANTYNE.
Very good.
It's not V or V.
Huh?
V.
Balance.
V?
Well.
I thought it was V.
I heard well.
Again, must stop long it. Valentine. There. Long it.
Good. I've got that down.
Extra.
Now listen and answer questions 7 to 10.
Okay, 7.
And you provide the bicycles, of course. What else?
A lock and a bell come with the bike, as well as lights, although you shouldn't need to cycle in the dark. There's a small bag, or pannier, on the front of the bike, where you can put the things you want to take with you during the day, like water or fruit. But we won't allow you to cycle unless you bring a helmet. We don't provide these locally because, like walking boots on a walking holiday, it's really important it fits properly.
Okay.
If there's any special gear you need for your holiday, we recommend a particular website, and you can get a discount by quoting your booking reference.
Great. What is it?
It's www.ballantine.com. That's all one word, and I'll spell it for you.
Yes. Yes, không có lần trong like that. B.
I was thinking on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard it too.
I know. Mostly you say Valentine. Mom,
Yeah.
number 9, yeah, now on.
Road.
There's an alteration, not change.
Oh, route.
Yes, S2.
I heard road.
Last one, main.
Building. No.
Yeah, I think building too. Oh, theater?
Theater.
It's the ladies. It's her, not the guy's speech.
Double L, alterations to the route if the weather is bad. Some of the tracks sometimes get very muddy.
Okay, well, hopefully it won't rain too much. I know we stop in towns and villages, but do we get a chance to look around? Because I'm really interested in history.
Oh yes, you get opportunities to explore. Is there something in particular you want to see?
There's a theatre in a town called Grine. A friend of mine went there last year and said it was amazing.
Let's see. Yes, there's a guide who'll take you around the building.
See? So she said there's a theater in blah blah blah, and he said yes, there's a guide that will take you around the building. It's the theater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird, like tour guide of a building.
How is it? Donna, hi. So that is called note completion. Let's go to table completion. There are many other kinds on, like a lot of kinds of completion. Main flow chart, main table completion. So for table completion, same thing, instruction. However, you will be given a table. That means heading buổi môi cái nhé, heading heading ហើយនឹងគេនឹងដក gap ចេញដូចគ្នាអញ្ចឹងយើងត្រូវមើល heading យើងសិនហើយយើងត្រូវ listen for what information. So look at the sample. How many sections are there? Headings เป็นប៉ុន្មាន 4 មាន origin មានអីទៀត មាន habitat and last one
habitat
Notes.
notes តោះបើយើងចង់ guess answer បានយើងគិតថាកន្លែង column name what kind of word should it be like verb ដាក់ verb បានអត់ like name នេះ
noun
always noun នៅពេល habitat also
noun
and like note it can be anything right because note នោះវាអាចមាន combination of noun verb ចូលគ្នាអញ្ចឹងទៅតោះ look at the instruction here complete the table below no more than 2 words ដាក់ number ចូលបានអត់ no number 3 word បានអត់ no តោះ look at the questions I'll go play recording
Test 1. Exam.
តោះមើលសំណួរសិនទៅ Ready?
Practice. Listening, section 4. You will hear part of a lecture about exotic pests given as the introduction to a course on ecology and environment. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40.
So how many questions to look at first? 10 ទាំងអស់ហ្មង Okay, so you will hear the information at once, everything 31 to 40 មកអានសំណួរមក Normally you have 30 seconds to look at the question. Now let's go.
Pause the recording for 1 minute.
30 seconds បានហើយ
Now listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 40.
Good afternoon. I want this afternoon, as an introduction to our ecology module, to offer examples of exotic pests, non-native animals or plants which are or may be causing problems, which might prove a fruitful topic for seminar papers later in the term. People and products are crisscrossing the world as never before. And on these new global highways, plants and animals are travelling too. exotic plants and animals are turning up in Antarctica and on the most remote islands on Earth. For example, the Australian red-backed spider. It's made its way to countries fairly near home, such as New Zealand and Japan, as some of you may know. Well, it's also been found on Tristan da Cunha, which is a remote island thousands of miles from anywhere, way out in the middle of the Atlantic. Now, another famous animal invader in the other direction, so to speak, from England to Australia in the southern hemisphere, is the rabbit. This was in 1830, and it might seem less of a threat, but it became an extraordinarily destructive pest. The fact that rabbits increased so rapidly is perhaps more understandable when we remind ourselves that they had originally been introduced to England from continental Europe 8 centuries earlier. This was because they were regarded as a luxury food source, and in spite of having warm fur, they probably originated on the hot, dry plains of Spain, which of course explains why they thrive in the climate of Australia. A much less cuddly example of a pest introduced to Australia, this time from America, is fire ants. These are increasing and spreading very fast. Their huge nests can now be found in gardens in the city of Brisbane, and they are costing the Australian government a great deal of money in control measures. These were an accidental introduction, rather than a deliberate one, brought to Australia probably in horticultural imports or in mud on second-hand machinery. As a biologist and conservationist, I have become increasingly concerned about these matters. Exotic invasions are irreversible and deserve to be taken more seriously, even when they aren't particularly damaging. For example, something that is not necessarily a major disaster compared to other ecological experiments. In 1975, an Australian species of earthworm was deliberately introduced to the Northern Hemisphere in Scotland because they were bigger than the natives. The aim was that they would be more effective than native species, but in fact, they don't do more for the soil condition than the smaller locals, which they displace. Although they don't do a lot of harm, as far as we know up to now, this will probably prove to have been a mistake. A much more serious case, also in Scotland, as well as other countries, along with the latest victim, Iceland, is the New Zealand flatworm. This is a most unwelcome newcomer in these regions of northwest Europe. Basically, this flatworm came into these countries by accident. It's now been realized that it was actually carried in the plant pots containing exotic ornamental shrubs and so on, and as it eats local earthworms and doesn't benefit the local ecology in any way, it is a real pest. Next, there's a further instance, this time in the water, and it's come from Japan. It's a delicious but very fast-spreading seaweed, and is one of many exotic species, large and small, in the seas covering the rocks around Australia. Unfortunately, it is replacing indigenous seaweeds and permanently altering the ecosystem. However, to look at the situation from a business point of view, it is now being harvested and exported, dried, back to Japan, its original home, where it's particularly popular. So, sometimes we may find accidental benefits from apparently harmful arrivals. Well, you could say that world ecology is now going the same way as popular culture. Global music and fashions, food and drinks are taking over from local ones in every land. And in ecosystems, we find vigorous exotic invaders overwhelming native species and natural habitats. But can we find any examples of invaders which appear to be a problem and then find that in fact they may not be such a big issue after all? We might take as an example a native of Australia, the budgerigar, the most common pet parrot in the world, of course. Because there have been many escapes over the years, It is now to be found flying about in feral flocks where the climate suits it. So, these flocks of budgerigars have been getting very numerous in the southeast of the United States, particularly in residential areas. People have been getting quite worried about this, but it has been observed that the size of the flocks has diminished somewhat recently. The fact that they are smaller is thought to be due to the fact that new competitors for their habitat have arrived from other places. That's the last example for now. What I'd like you to consider is this. Is the planet Earth moving towards a one-world ecosystem? How far would it be a wholly bad development?
That is the end of section 4. You now have half a minute to check your answer.
This is the end. The song Skyfall by Adele.
No.
You should listen to it on Skyfall. How is this one? Harder than before?
Oh, so much.
Yes.
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 Harder.
It's very hard, this one, but don't worry, it's just a sample. Number 31, what did you get as the answer, May?
Atlantic.
Atlantic, very good.
Oh,
Check your spelling.
wrong spelling again. Atlantic.
Number 32, Yane?
No, I didn't get it.
No worry, May.
Luxury food.
Number 3 is food source. K-J-S-A, source of food.
I heard luxury food source.
I heard.
Yes, luxury food source,
luxury.
but we can only put in 2 words, right? Remember? You
But what
if
it puts
source, but
luxury food?
put only 2 words. If you put luxury food, it's wrong because it is a source of food, not only the food for one time. 33. Who gets the answer?
Garden.
Garden with S or no S? Gardens in cities. Careful. That's why ending sounds are important. Gardens. 34, again.
But there are also garden city, right?
Gardens in the cities of. 34, what? Earthworm. With S on?
Yes.
No.
Oh.
35.
I didn't get it.
May, did you get it?
Fishes. Soil.
Soil condition. They said something about improving the condition of soil condition. 36.
Northwest.
Northwest. Okay, you can write like this, or you can write one word.
Okay.
37.
Yeah.
Who gets the answer? Practice more, okay?
And
Plant pots. 38.
seafood.
Very good. 39.
Of the United States.
Capital letter, careful. 40.
New competitors.
New competitors. Nice one. So these are the answers. So I sent you some practices already. Do that and I'll give you more tonight or tomorrow. So tomorrow, tell me if you are ready or not. If not, you can have one more day and we'll do our quiz on Friday instead. Okay? So I'll give you one more night tonight to practice what I sent you. Cho PI mình á. So do that and tell me by tomorrow if you are ready for our quiz or not yet. Like that. Okay, đấy. I'll send one more to you too tonight or now.
I think we should do it on Friday. so quick.
It's fine.
Can
Practice
we do it
first.
on?
That's why I asked you to practice first and tell me if you are ready or not yet. Then we can discuss later. Practice sentence nhé, hay chọn bữa tháng tới on.
Yes, okay.
Don't worry. Don't be stressed, okay? Stress big. The key is to focus as well. If you lose focus, giờ nào bắt đầu học more. Bởi vì lươn nữa. Tại you are focus. Tại you are focus giờ nào mấy tôi chụp bắt này khô tầm một. Just got frozen again. All right, so again, the tip is to stay focused. Không ao dừng bài thì dừng bài về with the whole hand. Okay, careful. Cọ tiền ai. Be careful, all right.